Feature Friday.
The freshest.
So this one's quite mind-blowing. You guys know that we love sort of like choirs, and we were talking about sort of choir-like performances or
Correct.
groups in India. And one of you guys through an email recommended this mass choir in this church. And I think they're singing, from what the title says, it's like classical hymns.
Right.
So there's classic hymns, you sing at church in mass all the time. So let's give this a watch. I've never seen I didn't expect like mass choir in India because there's so many variations of religions and stuff. That also very cool to see this stuff. We probably had to sing some of these hymns when we were growing up because
Definitely.
we grew up. If you're Latin American, if you're from South America, you praise the Lord. You know what I
You're
mean?
most likely Catholic.
Yeah.
Oh, and the fans. This is takes
That
me
place
back.
must have been.
What? They don't even look like they're singing it. This is so cool.
Bro, that's one of the aspects of religion I fucking blows my mind to me because it does no matter what religion. When you go to like we were watching it was something to do with Eid, and it was like some Urdu Arabic prayer sort of thing, and mate, unreal,
Amazing,
Then-
incredible.
Then you go to like the other different types of religion and stuff, and it's like when they sing, especially the songs they do,
Yeah.
bro,
And because
mental.
there's so many people singing it at the same
Ah,
time, it's like, oh, you get goosebumps all over.
Goosebumps.
It's incredible. Listen to that.
It's got walk.
Oh yeah, and of course an organ. Do you know how hard it is to play an organ?
Yeah, impossible. Like the kids and everything. That's so dope,
That
dude.
is amazing. This is so cool. And they're not even sight reading. They're just singing it straight up.
Bro, our church never sounded like that, bro. No one was singing. Everyone was like shy. I remember when I was a kid and I would fall asleep in a lot of these masses when I was like 6 or 7. And then the song was come on. It never sounded this good anyways.
No.
Damn, big production, bro.
Yeah, look at the lights and the freaking camera angles.
You listen to it. Oh.
Yeah, the descants are beautiful. The men are singing their little hearts out.
Not little. They have big ass hearts for those big ass lungs.
Oh, this is so great.
Wow, this is so weird. This is
It
so
gives me such
nostalgic.
nostalgia. Yeah, it does. It gives me
Yeah.
such nostalgia.
Because we usually discover so many more cultural stuff and different, different religions and different traditions and different music and stuff like that. We really rarely do this.
Yeah,
but
hitting back to where buried childhood memories. Like
mental.
This
Like
is crazy.
we're watching that. It was from India, right? The temple, that temple song from KJ Yesudas.
Sudas, that's right.
And I'm pretty sure for people that were watching that, we were discovering for the first time. That must have been quite, wow, this brings up so many memories, whatever.
Yes, yes.
This is the same for us.
Correct. It's crazy. Nostalgic.
Organs basically impossible to do. Jesus. Literally. We got a minute for you, Lord and Savior Jesus
Jesus Christ. That is amazing, and I love that they're all sitting down. It sounds so epic, doesn't it?
Do you notice their throats as they sing there?
I wasn't paying attention to that. I was a little bit in my little world. Let's look at the throats. Go ahead, show me it.
So the reason why we're paying attention to the ladies' throats is because so we were just discussing this in the previous video from yesterday. It's like especially in Indian classical music, because of Hindustani classical or even Carnatic, very rare that you see singers that or Sufi music even. Very rare that you see singers that shift their larynx when they sing, and they're from the Indian subcontinent.
Yeah, correct.
They have adapted and come up with their own
Technique.
absolutely mind-blowing technique of singing.
And it's so ancient. Like, it is like the beginning of music itself, I believe, where the larynx shifting is not part of it. So I would think that that's like the most modern way of singing. Also, I think it's a very heavily Western thing as well.
They're not.
But
either.
they're not singing classical Indian either. So I wonder if they maintain, and because the sound is so rounded and it's so Western classical based, I do wonder what the technique here is.
Yeah,
yes, I agree.
So keen on that, because what if you could do operatic based singing with Indian classical based training?
Yeah, without having to shift your larynx.
That would be mental. You imagine
that
someone
is
could
crazy.
do that.
Well, so far they're very static larynxes.
Yes, that's what I
very
noticed.
static.
They're not moving. They're not shifting their larynxes in the traditional sense.
Yeah, you would have to. You would have to shift it. It moves. It's hard to explain, but it does move. They're quite static with it. Yes, they're quite fixed. Oh.
This is when I would wake up.
Oh.
Because my granny would. Blah.
Get up. You disrespectful child.
Didn't mean it in a bad way. I'm just tired. It was so hot.
Voice is cool. Yeah, look at the discount. They don't move their larynx.
Oh, they sang it in Tamil.
Oh! 250 voices this time. Whoa! Oh my God! The men have such beautiful discount. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. What do you mean so cool?
My theory would have been perhaps because of the language you are maybe natively taught from the beginning to
sing in that manner without having to shift your larynx so
much.
But
let's presume that the little ones, especially the young ones here, they haven't lived long enough for that perhaps to settle.
But they know that everybody else sings that way. They emulate by
so theoretically, boom, alert, big discovery, big brain moment here. So theoretically, it is possible then to disprove some of, because I had a problem like last year with this like vocal coach shit. I never made it public or anything. I did mention it in a podcast, but I'm never gonna say names or anything like that. Fuck it, who cares? It's to do with singing, mate. Like, we gotta start beef because of singing. Are you mental? The music community loves it though. Oh, they love a bit of beef. So this person was saying that the proper way to sing, like, there's only one proper way to sing, right? And it is from Italian classical operatic singing, right? And
that you can derive everything else from that.
Everything.
And to be honest, when you are being taught in the Western world, as you could say it, you get taught that that's the ultimate form, that's the foundation. It's like when you learn to dance properly and the only foundation is ballet, Russian ballet, and everything else is derived from that. But when you start experimenting, when you start discovering things from other parts of the world, you are able to see that there are so many right ways of doing things that still work, and they're not detrimental to your vocal health or your health overall. Because I think that was the argument against
Which technique is the best?
contemporary singing, because it's detrimental to your voice. You'll get nodules, you're pushing, you're shouting, you don't understand the techniques. And then that's why a lot of like orthodox vocal coaches or like teachers or musical teachers would have said, learn how to sing classical first, like Italian, Western European classical, for you to understand where the roots of the techniques and the breathing and all of these things come from, right? But to say that that's the absolute and only correct way of singing,
Go do one, yeah.
it's a little too absolute, and
Totalitarian.
I would have to say that experimenting in the world, it's so encouraged.
I think the more of the world you discover, the more open you become, and the less closed you actually become. Because this is like a big moment, actually.
Yeah, correct.
Again, it's hard to tell because I don't know if they're pro-bass singers or maybe they're just people worshipping, which is probably the case. They sound great.
They sound fantastic.
I mean? But choirs at this magnitude, there is a certain level of forgiveness because there's so many numbers.
And also, there's a community situation happening here. A lot of these people most likely go to mass every Sunday, and they know these hymns off by heart.
Okay, well, I'd love to see, this is a recommendation, right? Let me explore this theory further. I'd love to see if perhaps there's been an operatic-based singer out of India that has also had, or that their background is actually Indian classical. Could be South, Northern, it doesn't matter. And they have then evolved or
they are able to sing operatic Western music.
Yeah. And that person said that, fucking open your head, dickhead.